Alright guys, well I'm back. That sounded like I swallowed a frog, so sorry. Anywho, so we begin the Bag Mozzie project. I've been waiting to do this for about a year, just due to moving and work and other things that pop up. It's just what it is. People get it. So here's my small stack of goodies, which doesn't really seem like a lot, but it is important stuff. So we'll start left to right. Here's our air management. So it's an old V2 airlift system, autopilot. It's nice. I had it sitting on the shelf. A buddy of mine traded it for some work, and I just figured out why not use it. So below that, we have our brand new Stealth Black 444 via air compressors. So we got twin 200 PSI compressors for that. The box above that, that's the wiring harness and stuff, and the controller for the airlift. Got two water traps, airline, 1/4-inch airline. Here, we ended up picking a spun aluminum air tank. I wanted something light, something that felt like it blended in with the car. I thought that was cool. And then, with our mix and match of parts, our D2 coilover suspension. Apparently these had to be custom built. So, had them shipped in. The guy said that they were custom built in China in Japan, in their main factory. They have it shipped over here. It's a beautiful setup. I'll get more images of this as I pull it out. But first, we're gonna start over here. So I have already gutted the trunk. There's my flashlight. I've already gutted the trunk. Took all the interior paneling out. Let's see how much room I have. It's a big trunk, but once you put all the insulation or all the trunk trim liner, blah 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 blah, and I can't speak today, it kind of fills up some room, but kind of getting the idea of what I'm going for. Now, they do sell a spare tire for this car. I do not have a spare tire for this car. I want a spare tire for this car, but it's about $1,000 just for a spare tire for this thing. Okay. Sure. Anywho, I plan on building a system, a molded sub enclosure that's actually going to sit inside the spare tire because it is an 18-inch rim. So I'm going to mold the box to the inside of the tire, a little bit above it, and then I'm going to mount the subwoofer right in the middle. I know that much as of the moment. I really don't even know how I'm going to build this thing, and yet I want to build an award-winning system. We're going to wing it, I guess. I want to build something that blends with the car well, something that's going to draw people in. I would like to build something that actually can get awards, because I think that would be super cool. But it's a lot of work. But I want to be practical here. I still want to use the trunk. Still my daily driver for the most part. Put my kids in the car, I take them to school, I get groceries with it. So as wild as it is, it's my car. So I still need to have some kind of usable space. I want to be hitting car shows, traveling, going to events. So I want to be able to run stuff without putting a roof rack on this thing, because there is no such thing as drip rails on a Maserati. No, this is all seamless. So no roof rack for me. I'm all right with that. But that's the idea at the moment. Now I got to figure out how to get this stuff in there. The struts are the easy part. Everything over here, that's going to be the challenge. So I want to get a good install. I want LEDs, I want lights. I want stuff to glow, I want stuff to be shiny. I want stuff to look like it took me a long ass time to do. But I have until the end of, or just for the end of August, because I'm gonna do my best to catch the ice cream cruise that is up in Nebraska. That'll be a fun trip, I think. I've had friends tell me about it for a while now, and I wanted to go. I just haven't been able to. Either I didn't have a car I thought would be worth taking, or just wasn't able, money-wise or time, you name it. So, still need to do an alternator. My alternator fried out in it, boo. But I'm gonna take it out, make some phone calls. I really want to get it rebuilt and see if I can get more amps coming out of it. I'd like to get another 50 to 100 amps. That way I can compensate for the stereo I'm going to put in it, compensate for the air system. And I'm going to put some LED lights underneath it just because it's what they look for sometimes. So I'll put some lighting on it. I'm not going to go stupid with it. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. So let me get to work. Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm back in the garage and I'm working on the Mozzie. So here is the start of my air suspension frame. So I wanted to do something, I don't know. I just wanted to make something work, but I also wanted to make it so it's kind of removable, easy to access, because that is the fuel cell behind it. Get the gas tank. I need to be able to get to that. So, we got the frame going on here. Got 1.25" angle iron at the top. I want to say that's 1/2" tubing. So, a little thicker there. That's a piece of conduit. And then I have it anchored down using the factory mounts. So, slowly, I want to get this all done and welded. I plan on hanging, the air tank's going to go here. I'm going to make mounts for an amplifier just underneath the air tank. Compressor, and I want to do something else with it. I just don't know what. Yeah. So, this is just the start. As it progresses, I'll get better ideas as far as what I want to do. I want to backlight it. This is going to be painted like a satin metallic red, so I think it'll really pop in the trunk. And I plan on dyeing the original interior of the trunk black, so it'll kind of make a display case for it. We're going to do red LED backlighting. We're going to make it interesting. So, slowly but surely, I didn't really have a plan. I just kind of winged it. Winging it is what I do apparently. So I roll with it. Yeah. Wing it. So that's the plan for now. I'm gonna get it out of the car, finish stripping the trunk down because I don't want to damage any more interior. I put a couple burn holes in it. So I'm gonna finish getting the side panels out and get the frame out. I'm gonna put a couple more tack welds on it so it doesn't move as I'm going in and out and up and down and adding stuff, taking stuff off, and blah, 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 blah. But that's the direction we're heading in. I really want to get this done as fast as possible because the quicker this is done, do the air struts, or the struts. I still got to get the alternator ripped out. I got to send all this stuff out and have it serviced because I want to get an alternator with a little more oomph. I plan on doing the stereo right about here. Spare tire well. That is my electronic parking brake. Yay. But I don't have a spare, but I do want to eventually put a spare in. So what I plan on doing is a spare tire is an 18-inch rim, and I'm going to mold a fiberglass box into the center of the rim upside down. And then this is going to be a full finished piece right here, which will be fiberglass and painted and LEDs and light up stuff and fancy. I've normally just done functional systems, welded frames together, mounted stuff in. and made it workable. This is gonna be my actual first system I'm doing that's gonna be show. I really wanna go show on this. It's a very nice car. I don't wanna just slap it in. You know, my Bel Air is fantastic. I love that car, but that car was just built to function, which that will get its own deal. The Mercedes was just same thing. I put it in to function, and I plan on redoing that too. I want to step it up a notch. The further I go, the more I want to make stuff super high end, and that's the whole idea here. But I still need to make it so I can service the car. I'm really big about whatever I do, I need to be able to service the car. So, let me get to work. What's going on, guys? All right, I'm back in the garage, as always. I live here, right here. All right, so, bam. We are working on the cage in this mess. So, structure itself is pretty much welded in place. I gotta do a couple little touch-up welds, grind it down, yada, yada, yada. I got my vertical straps cut, which is what's gonna support the air tank. Plus, I'm gonna make a thingy thing that's gonna hold the amplifiers. So I don't know if I'm doing a 5-channel, a 4-channel with a bass amp, just run a bass amp, I don't know. So I'm gonna make it so there is a board that I can take off and change it if need be, do something new, who knows? But we're gonna weld some wood. No, we're not. These are the mounting tabs for the air compressor. Got it there. Drilled out the holes, cut all the little flat plate. So just flat stock. What I'm gonna do is, this is to hold them in position so I don't have to put the compressor on here. I don't want to damage it, it will look funky, but we're gonna go ahead and weld them on, get them tacked in place. That way I know they're perfect, and when I take the board off, it can go ahead and put the compressor right on it. So that's what I got going on at the moment. I'm gonna keep going on that. We're gonna get that welded in. I'm gonna get the straps welded on. And then I gotta take it off the table, put it back in the trunk, and fit it so I can put these tabs on the top. So this is gonna be my vertical support. Then this bolts to a place on the back wall. And then these actually anchor down to the factory luggage mounts. So my whole point is to make this so the system is really easy to remove in case I have to access the fuel cell in the trunk because it's between the back seat and the trunk. I mean, it works, but I need to make this so it can come out easy. So that was the whole point of doing the cage. Plus, I want to do something nice. It's one of my nicer systems I'm making. So I want to go all out with this. It's for my pretty car. I want my pretty car to be extra pretty. So we're gonna do all that, and we're just gonna keep on going little by little. So let's get some work done. Nerd.
Hi, this is Donnie's Reel of What's Going On.
I'll definitely be editing that out.
Hi, welcome to the
I need to make audio clips of just like powerful going on.
He's going to edit a lot of me out, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you about my life story a little bit. I was born on a late September night in the middle of nowhere, and it was storming out, and the dinosaurs kept getting back to the show.
What the?
Back to the late September night in the middle of nowhere. It was snowing and raining at the same time, and the sun shone through, and I got the crispy a little burn on me bum as I was freshly born. Don't listen to me, please. I'm weird. And over there you can see the garden gnome. The garage gnome in his natural habitat. And as he peeks around the corner, they are carnivorous. Ah.
What's going on, guys? All right, so it's late. I am wrapping it up for the night. But here is what we got. So I think this setup is coming out beautiful. Got my little spiky spike going on right here. So welded together some conduit, some bent conduit, brought it to a nice point. It's kind of the theme with it. You know, nice sharp edges there. So the sad part is you won't see most of this frame. There'll be small spots in the corners that poke through, maybe some of the top bar over in the side. And only a little bit of this guy will hang out. Because, grab my air management. Once we put our air management on, that's kind of gonna be approximately about where it needs to go. I gotta do my double checks and measurements, but that's gonna be the idea about where that's gonna be. So just the very point of it is gonna stick out, which I think will look really nice once it's painted red and the hard lines are put on. I'm doing aluminum hard lines. I don't think I'm gonna polish them. I'm probably gonna leave the brush look and make everything pop real well. I'm gonna backlight everything I put on. The air tank is gonna go right here. The amp mount is gonna be right about here below the tank. Obviously compressor. And then I'm gonna try to hide all the lines best I can. So the only thing you'll see is the hard lines, and I'll have some fun with that. I don't know if I'm gonna squiggly-doo or just, you know, nice clean bends going out. I think the clean bends will look good the best. That made a lot of sense. Look good the best, yeah, man. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and we're getting there. So I honestly think I'm about done with this. I gotta drill the holes for the air tank. I'm gonna go get the materials so I can start building stereo equipment in here. I'm gonna end up making the amp mount out of MDF, but I'm gonna resin it, make it nice and hard, actually soak it with fiberglass resin, and I'm gonna sand it, do body work on it, paint it, and make it look really good. I think I'm gonna spray it the same color as the body, and that'll kind of offset the red frame that's gonna be on there and make a good backdrop for the amp and stuff. So I want it really pretty. We're gonna dye the carpeting black in here. It is the standard gray trunk liner like you see in every car. So because I really want things to stand out, I'm gonna dye the trunk black, the carpet, dye that black. The frame is gonna be the red. I'm thinking a flat metallic red. Then the spun aluminum gas tank. Excuse me. I hope you didn't have your volume up for that. I apologize. But we'll have the aluminum gas tank. I'm running Kicker gear. I love Kicker. Long time ago, once in a blue moon, if you ever heard about it, I worked at Circuit City. And I used to install stereos, and I fell in love with Kicker in that moment. So I love the product. I love what they do. It's not an endorsement, but I'm a fan of it. I love my Kicker. So we're gonna put Kicker amps there. Amp, I don't know, haven't quite figured out which way I'm going yet, but stay tuned for that one. Then you have your matte black compressor, so everything will kind of have a matte and aluminum finish in here with a little bit of color. Then down here, my spare tire well. That is my electronic parking brake. Fun stuff. So my goal in the long run is I may end up making 2 boxes just because I don't know, but I'm gonna make it modular. So the first enclosure will end up being a box that just sits in the compartment. And I'm gonna do a top on it that's removable. That way I can change the bottom once I get the spare. Because the whole idea is with this, I really like driving around with the spare. I wanna be able to fit the box molded inside the spare tire because it's an 18-inch rim. So Kicker is awesome because they don't use a very large volume of air to work. So I can get plenty of space with that. Plus, the top itself, I'm gonna end up finishing real nice with the same paint that I'm doing for the amp mount. It's gonna match the body of the car. And then from that, I'm gonna end up, put you down right there. From that, I'm gonna end up painting it, doing some recessed lighting in it. I really want it to pop. I want it to be really, really nice. So that's the idea at the moment. But right now, that's for the most part done, welded up. I'm happy. Got some finished work, gotta do some grinding. I may add some more tabs to it for line mounts. I may not, don't know yet, haven't got there. So that's it for the night. I'm calling it quits. See you later. What's going on, guys? All right, so we got the trunk set up in there. Now we need to make the bracket for the valve body. So I'm gonna start cutting this thing down, grinding it up, and get this thing tacked into place because I found out I have a lot less time for this car show than I realized. So let's get to work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long evening. I have what I can only assume is finished the frame. So we're all welded up and ground down. I'm gonna sandblast it just to get in the welds real good, and then I'm gonna do some body filler just to kind of smooth out some of the corners. I didn't go super crazy on the grinding as far as getting in all the nooks and crannies. They're pretty good. So a quick little skim of filler, some sandpaper, will be golden. I'm not so worried about it. I'm not showing off welds on this thing. Yeah. Grab a corner. Oh yeah. There you go. There is the frame. Now, I gotta figure out what color I'm gonna put on this. I have an idea, but I have no idea where I can get it from. So I gotta look through some different paint suppliers and see what's out there. Also, I was waiting on batteries to charge for this. Stepped on stuff. I worked on this. Just plastic everywhere. Ripped out the wipers, ripped out the cowl panel, got all the paneling unbolted. Ooh, I think I missed some. Oh, look at that, I did. Haha. So, my alternator cooked. My alternator is under that. So I gotta pull the entire intake manifold off, get underneath it, and actually get the alternator out so I can get this thing rebuilt. I believe it uses a Denso alternator, which is fantastic because there's a local shop that'll rebuild it. Plus, if it's actually a Denso, I can get upgrade parts for it, which means more amps. Woohoo! Because I plan on putting a system in here. I also have the compressors running. I want to make sure I got plenty of power so I don't already upset this power hungry beast. This thing loves juice, and if you're lacking it, it doesn't function correctly. So that's pretty much it for the night. I'm gonna close up and go rinse off all the metal shavings. And I'm gonna relax a little bit. I'm gonna watch some TV. I'm tired. Need to chill a little bit. Haven't slept well lately, so I'm a little out of it. Well, that closes out this evening, and see you guys tomorrow.
Well, welcome back to Downrange Garage.
Hey, Ma! So, all right, I'm gonna close this video out, guys. I've had a lot going on.
Swing, bada, swing.
So, we got the frame done. It's all welded up, ground down. Stayed up and did that the other night. I gotta do body work next to just kind of make it look a little bit better. So, we're gonna be bouncing between this and doing mechanical stuff on the car itself. I gotta pull the alternator out next. It fried, so yay. Get that out, get that repaired. And in between installing the air ride system, I'll be painting this and kind of bouncing back and forth. So the next video is gonna be kind of all over the place like they've been recently. So, hey, I wanna thank everybody for watching. So please like, subscribe. Thank you so much for everybody and stay tuned.
Bye.